A very good morning. You're watching News 9 with me, Akshatam. Well, the bodies of two residents of Chenasandra were found in Chikkanaikanahalli today. The deceased have been identified as brothers Venu and Pavan. 17-year-old Venu and 16-year-old Pavan had been missing for the past week. Their father Gopalaswamy had lodged a complaint at the HSR layout a week ago, and today their bodies were found in Chikkanaikanahalli near Sarjapur Road. The HSR layout police suspect this to be a case of murder. A gruesome incident coming to light. There are two teenage boys, one of whom was 17 and the other 16, found dead in Sarjapur soon after their father had lodged a missing complaint. This is in Chikkanaikanahalli near Sarjapur Road. The HSR layout police are investigating the matter. It is understood that their father Gopalaswamy had lodged a complaint at the HSR layout police station a week ago. They have been missing for quite some time now, and last night their bodies were found. As of now, there is no word on what could have taken place. The initial suspicion is that it is murder, but murder for what and by who is something that the cops are yet to find out. But both the brothers being killed there has definitely led to suspicion that maybe it was some sort of a rivalry with the family. Of course, the father will be quizzed to find out if, in fact, the family had any sort of enemies or rivalry with any other such person in the area. And based on the answers, they will go ahead and pursue this case further. Both the boys, 17-year-old Venu and 16-year-old Pavan, were found dead after a week since they went missing. Their father Gopalaswamy had suspected that something was wrong after the boys failed to come home for over a week. He went ahead and filed a complaint a week ago, and it looks like now finally the cops have managed to find out exactly where Venu and Pavan were. In fact, their bodies were found in Chikkanaikanahalli today. It is understood that these two were residents of Chenasandra. They lived with their family, and their dad, not seeing the two brothers for quite some time, went on to file a missing complaint, and their bodies were discovered soon after. Almost a week after, in fact, is what we understand it took for the cops to go ahead and find their body. As of now, of course, the suspicion is that it could be a case of murder, but they will have to wait for the post-mortem report, and also have to find out if there was some sort of enmity, considering that these two were brothers. It's highly likely that there was some sort of family rivalry that led to the death of Venu and Pavan. And moving on, the RTE has been in the news for all the wrong reasons, but the government has come up with a new scheme which claims to make the right use of RTE.
One of the main reasons the Karnataka government introduced the RTE was to ensure quality education is freely accessible to all aspiring students from financially weak backgrounds. Despite this, it was observed that there were some students who dropped out of school every now and then. To keep this in check, a survey was conducted to check the number of school dropouts across the state following High Court orders in November last year. The Education Department has now arrived at a number: 1,70,575 kids aged between 4 and 16. They are now coming up with various schemes to readmit these students to schools under the RTE Act.
Admission ಮಾಡಿಸಿದೀವಿ. So progress ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಸೌಲಭ್ಯ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಂತ ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಬಿಸಿ ಊಟ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ನೋಟ್ಬುಕ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಮತ್ತು ಈವನ್ ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಶಿಪ್ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್ ನಿರ್ದೇಶನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
Special admissions for these students will start from May 21st. The kids who have dropped out will be admitted to schools close to their homes. There will be special attention paid to orphans and students with very little guidance. The word has been spread and the government is taking extra measures to create awareness on this in rural areas as well.
ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ವಲಸೆ ಬಂದು ಜನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, 100 ಜನ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಟೆಂಟ್ ಶಾಲೆಗಳಾಗಿ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಾವು ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನನ್ನ ರೇಂಜಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು 6ರಿಂದ 8 ಕಡೆ ನಾವು ಟೆಂಟ್ ಶಾಲೆಯನ್ನು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ.
For the students who quit schools years ago, they will be provided education in 10 schools for about 3 months to reintroduce them to the ways of schooling and also the curriculum. Officials of all districts have been informed of this and arrangements will be made to set up 10 schools in the meantime. Many of the students who have dropped out and are involved in child labor will be brought back to schools with this new scheme. The kids are given an opportunity to study in private schools while the government pays a set fee to the school every year. But the act has been exploited because of this very nature. Schools try to exploit it by not discouraging students from a certain class to join their school, while families with enough financial aid try to have their students admitted under the RTE. Well, looks like it will finally be used for what it was put in place for. Amrita Patil, News9, Bengaluru.
And well, the elections are spelling trouble for not just politicians and party workers, but to the commoners too. A bunch of residents in Chikkodi have been facing a grave issue. Here's a report on the same.
This is the strong room in which many EVMs have been kept. This is RD College in Chikkodi. Roads have been dug up for security reasons, and houses that are attached to the college are in a lot of trouble. Local people hurt themselves while crossing the road. The results of the Lok Sabha elections will be out on May 16th. The strong rooms have been given a 3-tier security, but this security has proven to be a bane to 6 families attached to the college. Children, women and doctors are finding it difficult to commute.
ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ನಾವು ಒಪ್ತೀನಿ. ಒಂದು ತಿಂಗಳಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ದಿನನಿತ್ಯ ಅವರ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋದಾಗಲಿ, ಪೇಟೆ ಸಂತೆಗಾಗಿ ಹೋಗೋದಾಗಲಿ, ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದಾಗಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಿದೆ.
The issue has already been brought to the notice of the concerned authorities, but in vain. None of the people who can change things have come to the rescue. The residents have been subject to unnecessary trouble thanks to the apathy of the concerned authorities. The families now fear that untoward incidents might happen and the children might get hurt. They want the authorities to take up the issue immediately and find appropriate solutions.
ಮತ ಪೆಟ್ಟಿಗೆಗಳನ್ನು ಪೋಲ್ಡ್ EVMsನ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ RD ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ರೂಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವರ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಪ್ರಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಪೂರ್ತಿನ ಸೀಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ನ CAPFಗೆ ವಹಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇದರ ಭದ್ರತೆ ಇನ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅವರ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೇನು ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಗೆಜೆಟೆಡ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್, ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ 3 ಡೇಸ್ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ನೋಡಲ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅವ್ರ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿನೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ರೂಮ್ನ ಭದ್ರತೆ ಕುರಿತು. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ 3 ಟೈರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ CAPF ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಆ ಮಿಡಲ್ ಪೆರಿಮೀಟ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ನವ್ರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಆ ಕೊನೆ ಪೆರಿಮೀಟರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ರೂಮ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಗಾರ್ಡೆಡ್, ವೆಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಟೈಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ.
All in all, the situation is getting tense by the day. The strong room is being given all the attention. The residents want their issues to be addressed at the earliest. Chandrasekhar Chinnakekar, News9, Chikkodi.
And well, former Minister Motama seems to have a soft corner for rowdy cheaters and criminals. Motama, who appeared on Chandravyuha, is a program aired by our sister concern TV9, made a statement that criminals sharing the ties with Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and campaigning for Congress is not a mistake. She claims that criminals were not invited by the party for campaigning and that they did so on their own. She also said that Chief Minister Siddaramaiah should not be held responsible for the same.
ರಾಜಕಾರಣ ಮತ ಹಾಕೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ತಾನೆ, ತನಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ